This video is sponsored by Huel.
Single player games will forever be the best type of game, unless you're speaking to some corporate bosses at some AAA companies. And in 2025, there has been some amazing games you need to play on your PS5.
Seriously, Anton, we've got a baby on the way. Oh my god, every time you do this, and seriously, oh my god, every time you do this, and...
Nice. Anyways, if you've just bought a PS5 or you're looking for some single player games to dive into, then you've come to the right place, because we need to run through these 10 must play single player games to play on your PS5. Let's shout out the sponsors of this video, Huel. I've finally released my ultimate fat loss guide for gamers, and if you want to level up your life, Huel can help you with the hardest part of that: nutrition. Now, I train around 4 times per week. I PT, I do YouTube, and all of this takes a lot of time, and I don't want to waste so much time in the kitchen. So with Huel Black Edition, this is a full balanced meal in a bag or a bottle, from 35 grams of protein per serving or bottle, with a balanced amount of carbs and fat, making it a calorie friendly meal. There's vitamin B12 to reduce tiredness and fatigue, to give you the full focus when you're playing that competitive game. There's also vitamin C to help with immunity, especially after a workout, and there are a ton of flavors. I personally love the strawberry and banana. My gosh, I love the sweetness, but I also love the chocolate and the vanilla. They are also really freaking nice. I personally have a really high sweet tooth, so I like those flavors, but there's also unflavored, so it all depends on your preference. So if you use my code, you can get £10 off your order right now. And if you want to level up your nutrition, this is gonna make your life so much freaking easier. When I come home, I just want to get in, get my nutrition in, and then get back onto more important things: game. So I don't have to worry about cooking a 5-star meal.
Listen, I know you may be slightly stupid.
The texture isn't too thick, and I've started having this in the morning or after my workout, because I don't want to worry about preparing too many meals. I don't want to do that. For me, it's all about making my life easier so I can save my time for the most important things.
Like buying more games, can't forget that.
Exactly, she knows. So use my code in the description below and level up your nutrition right freaking now. Thanks Huel for sponsoring this video. So in no particular order, let's get to number 10. Silent Hill F recently came out, and I freaking loved that game. The atmosphere, the graphics, the world building, they absolutely nailed it. There was only one problem. I still don't get what the hell is going on. There is a lot of lore, a lot of mental confusion about Hinako, which I think is an amazing character, by the way. Her voice actor nails it. Now, it's not a simple storyline, so if you're like me and you think there's going to be a real twist at the end and it's going to be such a simple explanation why these things are happening, then nah, this ain't it. Once you watch a YouTube video after you've completed it like I did, then you'll be like, oh. It's set in the 1960s Japan in a remote area, and you play as Shimizu Hinako, a high school girl whose seemingly normal life is upended when the town becomes engulfed in a dense fog and horrific changes begin to happen. I like the combat for what it was: the light attack, the heavy attack. Like, I assume you're supposed to feel helpless because it is like a horror genre, or it is a horror game. I did feel at times it was a bit janky, especially in the real world. Now, I won't give you any spoilers, but essentially there's like a real world where there's lots of enemies and you have your weapon that can deteriorate very quickly, and then you're in this alternate world where you get a bit more combat options, shall I say, which I really enjoyed more than the real world. There are 5 multiple endings of the game, so there is so much replayability, and you don't have to play again. I know some people online were like, how could there be 5 endings? I think it's only a good thing, because it does make me want to play the game again. Now I can actually understand what I'm actually reading this lot, like where it's coming from. Now, number 9, if you want a really good story-driven game, Mafia: The Old Country has a brilliant storyline to it. I still think this story is absolutely brilliant, especially with the price of this game. This is a much smaller game. It's a beautiful game. It's very simplistic. You know, you're following, you're walking, you're crouching, you're covering, you're shooting. That's not a problem. I'm just saying it doesn't revolutionize anything with this game. Enzo Favara, who's a very cool character. He's a young man who escapes a brutal life with forced labor in the sulfur mines and is drawn into the criminal underworld. So we get to see the origins of the criminal underworld.
I asked you a question.
Whoa. Going into this game, make sure you understand that you're going to have a much shorter experience. You're going to enjoy it. You won't come away thinking that, all right, the combat, the gameplay is something you have definitely seen before. In number 8, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 has a tremendous story, and you don't need to deep dive into the first game personally because there is a massive recap on that. Hopefully they bring out some sort of remaster, but this has got to be one of my favorite games and might be my game of the year. And this is set in 1403 Bohemia. Henry is a much more skilled and experienced person as he continues his service of noble lords and becomes engulfed by larger war and political uproar.
Oh, no, I'm not falling for that. On the political game, I'm fed up of these political games. I've got nothing better to do.
No, this is different. This is a really good game.
And most probably you're gonna play as a one-legged, one-eyed freaking alien who doesn't have a freaking visa, who's allowed
Oh, for
in
God's
this
sake.
country.
Games can exist and have politics in it, you know? This is 1403. There's a lot of politics in this. This game has to be one of the most bang for your buck, if you know that saying, by the way. You are going to love the open world and the freedom of choice, unless you really don't like that and you want to play Pokemon and play with some JPEGs as buildings, you know. From archery, hunting, NPCs remembering everything you do. If they see your face, it's just so comical because they will remember the shit that you have done to them. I'm so in love with the side quests, leveling up, becoming skilled in combat. The game is so memorable. Now, number 7, Clair Expedition 33. I cannot wait to play this game again. And just how funny would this be if this won Game of the Year? Personally, this is the way turn-based should be because it just feels so damn engaging. You know, turn-based doesn't have to feel boring. Even if that turns you off, there's so much exploration in this game. And the music has to be one of the highlights of this game. The story is a freaking roller coaster, and I want to play it again because I want to see the other ending. I haven't actually seen it.
The game takes place in a dark fantasy world on the isolated island city of Lumiere. For 67 years, every year, the mysterious ritual called the Gomage occurs. An entity called the Paintress paints a number on a monolith, and all humans whose age equals that number vanishes. The countdown number is getting lower and lower each year, meaning more and more people are threatened. And you follow the journey of Gustav, a 32-year-old engineer with a mechanical arm, and with only a year left, he joins the Expedition 33.
Now, at number 6, we have Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. I freaking love this game. This is the first Metal Gear game I actually played. I think this is a great remake. Now, I think it could have been better. It felt like a remaster at times, you know, with those loading screens, because this is someone who's never played the original. Someone went at it at me and was like, oh, yeah, baby, going on about the long cut scenes. Like, well, why so aggressive? Calm down. Have a coffee.
What a baby. What a big baby. Just get on with the game. Baby.
Now, at the start, it felt like there was a lot of cutscenes, and all I wanted to do was get straight into the game and get used to the gameplay. That's what I meant about a lot of cutscenes, because, you know, when you play the first game, like a game, and you just want to dive in, learn the controls, it felt like it took me quite a few hours because there was a lot of cutscenes, and I wasn't really getting used to it until like 3, 4, 5 hours into the game. But now that I've started playing it again, I already know the buttons and I'm actually just not going in loud. I'm actually really good at going in quiet. There's some really cool boss battles. Loading screens can be annoying for a remake, but the story is really good. Kojima is a legend. Based in 1964 at the height of the Cold War, Naked Snake is sent by the CIA to rescue a Soviet scientist named Dr. Nikolai Sokolov, who's developing a terrifying nuclear armed tank called the Shagohod. Volgin the Big Bad launches an American-made weapon, so it makes out to the Russians that they did it, so the world is basically on the brink of World War III. I'm enjoying it a lot more the second time around because I now know the controls. You can go in loud, you can go in quiet.
Okay, well, maybe I need a little bit of practice. Frickin' did the alarm, you fat. Well, you're dying for that.
if you're struggling with your mental and physical health, you want to lose some body fat, I've just released my ultimate fat loss guide for gamers. You can purchase it right now. And honestly, this will change your life. I run through every diet, why they all work. I preach flexible dieting, so you can enjoy your life, you can enjoy your food, and you can still lose body fat and get the best results. I've helped hundreds and hundreds of people over my last 10 years of PTing, and everything is going into this ebook. I give you tips on how you can use AI to design your own diet plan. There is workouts in there you can do at home and the gym, and you can honestly level up your life today without dropping the controller. So you can still be a gamer and still feel amazing in your body and your mind. So it's out now. Click the link in the description below and level up your life today. You will not freaking regret this. Now in number 5, we have Ghost of Yotei. Now, I know this has got to be one of the most controversial games of 2025, but I've nearly come to the end, or I would have finished the game by this video coming out, because we probably would have done it on Monday's stream. This game has freaking surprised me, because I will say I loved the first game, and I keep saying that, and this story is a lot better than what I thought. And I will be honest, this could be a contender for Game of the Year. I don't think it's better than the first one in terms of the story, but everything else, it overcomes the first one with its open world, the side activities, the combat. It's mad.
Release me from this world.
There is so much side content, bounties, techniques to learn, cosmetics, weapons to find. We get so many cool weapons that when put all together is unreal. Going into this game, I won't judge Atsu based off the actress, even though it looks like her, because when you judge the game based off Atsu, she's actually a really good character. But I get it, it's hard to differentiate the actual real life actor, because the things she said in the past, she is a bit of a nut. But when you look at Atsu, who she is in the game, she's actually a pretty good character. I love the way the story travels back to the past and the present as you play the game, so you actually build a relationship and you understand what happened in her past and with her family. With the weapons that you find, you meet these masters of these weapons, and she learns off these people, these amazing teachers. And I'm gonna leave the rest to my review, because I technically haven't finished the game and I want to judge it off something someone said. So watch out for my review in the next 2-3 weeks. Number 4, Hollow Knight Silksong is a game that costs around like what, $16.99 I think? It might be even cheaper. And this is a sequel to a game. A lot of people have been waiting for this. I can't believe the price of this. You play it as Hornet, a supposed key character in the first game who's captured and transported to a new, unfamiliar kingdom called Farloon. And if you are a fan of 2D Metroidvania games, then you will love this. This one is described as much more faster than the first. There are over 200 enemies. I heard it's freaking hard. I'm playing the first one here and there. I'm getting a bit lost, to be honest. I actually don't know where I'm going, and I feel like I've played over 5 hours of the game and I'm still at the damn start. It's one thing that's a bit annoying. I don't know if they've already patched what they said they would, because I know when you got to a big boss, it's so hard that you die, and they transported you like so far back at the beginning of the level that you had to just waste so much time traveling to get to the big boss to then die again. Now, I think they're going to patch that. As far as I know, they might already have. I don't know. In the comments, you can let me know. This has only really received positive reviews. Now, number 3, Cronos The New Dawn. I think this was a really freaking good game. It was really baffling finding out what was going on in this world, and by the end of the game, I actually thought, wow, this was actually a pretty decent story. And if you love something like Dead Space 2, this is what it reminded me of, and the combat is pretty neat. This is a survival horror game, but the one thing I would say is that it didn't really feel like that. I didn't really get scared. Maybe because I played Madison, but I didn't actually get too scared of this game. No, it's not like the jump scares of like Resident Evil or Concord with some of those damn characters. What's cool is that this is set across 2 timelines, a post-apocalyptic future and 1980s Poland. And you play as a traveler, an agent of the mysterious organization called the Collective. Now, we have to navigate a wasteland created by a cataclysmic event known as the Change. And we have to locate and extract their essences and salvage them into the future and find out what happened. So it did keep me motivated to keep going. I like the gameplay. It reminded me of Dead Space. Cool guns, big enemies. It can get a bit repetitive and you're doing the kind of same things in different environments, but it didn't take away really much from the enjoyment because I wanted to find out what happened. Now, at number 2, Death Stranding 2 is another game that for me, it delivered all the way. Now, I loved the open world of the first game, and all I wanted from the second one was more action, more guns, and we got that with this game. I actually found it very therapeutic, driving around, finding better ways to deliver your cargo, and that is a main thing about the game. So if you didn't like this aspect of the first game, your chances are you're not going to like this one. But for me, because there was so much more action, there was much better pacing in the story of this. For me, it delivered all the way through. And if you're someone who just wants to get completely lost in an open world and can just lose dozens and dozens of hours delivering packages and taking in this beautiful world, this has got to be one of the best looking games of this generation. Now, number 1, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle will be one of the best games you will play in 2025. I'm not sure a lot of people have given this a chance because this is an amazing freaking game. This reminds me of Nathan Drake, but just a bigger version. I know it's in first person. I didn't mind it, but it really reminds me of Uncharted. If you're missing Uncharted, yeah, it's not going to bring back Uncharted, but it makes me feel like I'm playing Uncharted.
Another time, chum.
There is so much to explore, and this is a big game. Collectibles, upgrades to Indy with these books you could find and purchase. I loved the game, and the story was so good. The different environments, the beautiful worlds, the places, the characters. I thought Gina, I'll be honest, I thought she was going to be some girl-ass boss. I thought she was going to be like, oh, Indy, you're an idiot. We've all seen the latest film, even though I haven't, but...
I need to do this.
Me too. This is the worst!
We know what that was. Honestly, she's actually a freaking brilliant character. They nailed this game. I think more and more people should play this game, and I've nearly platinumed it, and eventually I'm going to purchase that DLC when I get time to it. So what do you think about the games I've mentioned? What ones have you played this year, or what ones will you play? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let me know. Let's take a look at the comment of the day from my previous video, the news stream from last week. Out to the member LSD, you are smashing it, mate. As for the fat loss and motivation guide, I hope it works out for you, as I don't have to worry about that, as I am skinny git, and it is hard for me to put on weight. And shout out to King James, Project Tau looks epic. Congratulations on the fat loss guide. Can we please get a video on your thoughts on Where Wins Me? It comes out in November and it's free to play game. Thanks for the comments, dude. I really appreciate it. And yes, obviously, thank you. A few of you have actually bought the fat loss guide. Project Tau does look freaking insane. My gosh, I cannot wait for an open world game. Something like Black Myth Wukong, something like Phantom Blade Zero. It is going to be freaking epic. Where Wins Me? I'm going to be doing a video on that. I don't think it's free to play, but it's very cheap. So I'm actually looking forward to doing a video on that. So watch out for that. Anyways, what are we saying about the hair? What do you think? I'll wait for the comments to take the piss out of me. I don't mind.